All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back. Today, we're going to dive into something that is just absolutely critical if you really want to stand out in today's market. And that is just crafting those amazing customer experiences, those really knock it out of the park ones. But as we dug into this, we noticed a pretty common weak spot for a lot of companies, something that can really trip them up. And that's the gap that often forms between their CRM and their field service management systems.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. It's a disconnect that we see all the time.
Yeah.
Businesses will shell out big bucks to really understand and manage their customer relationships,
Yeah.
often using these really sophisticated CRM platforms like HubSpot.
Mhm.
But when it comes to their actual field operations, those are frequently running on completely separate systems. And when those two critical areas, those two systems aren't talking to each other effectively, it can cause some pretty significant problems.
Yeah, it's like a chain reaction. Inefficiencies creep in, things slow down, and who ends up feeling the pain? The customer, right? I'm talking about scenarios where a field technician shows up at a job site without the full picture of the customer's history, or even worse, a customer is left completely in the dark wondering when their service appointment is actually going to happen. It just erodes trust and goodwill, doesn't it?
Mm.
So the cost of these disconnected systems goes way beyond just inefficiency. It's a direct blow to customer loyalty and repeat business.
Exactly. It's death by a thousand cuts, right? You see diminished service quality, missed opportunities to build those strong customer relationships, maybe even missing out on potential upsells. And so much of it can be traced back to that fundamental disconnect between the CRM and those boots on the ground field operations.
Right. It's like having your sales and marketing team operating in this beautifully organized, meticulously detailed world, but then your field service team is out there working with basically a blurry map and no real directions. And so that's what we're going to untangle today. We're looking at the solution that's gaining some serious momentum, and that is the strategic integration of your CRM. Often we see HubSpot really leading the way there, and a robust field service management platform. And one name that comes up a lot in that space is Dusk FSM.
Exactly. That's what we're here to really dissect, how aligning these two powerful tools can bridge that operational chasm, smooth out those disjointed workflows, and empower businesses to deliver the kind of superior, seamless customer experience that really breeds loyalty and fuels long-term success.
So, okay, let's kind of break down what's driving this urgent need for a more unified approach, because it really feels like what customers expect has gone through a massive shift.
It has absolutely gone through a sea change. It's not enough anymore to simply offer a good product or a satisfactory service. That bar has been raised significantly. Today's customers demand speed, they demand genuine convenience, and they expect absolute transparency at every single point of contact with the company, from that very first spark of interest
Yeah.
and the entire sales process right through to any ongoing service or support that they may require.
It's like every single interaction, every touch point has suddenly become this high stakes moment. And it makes total sense, right? If the sales team has been diligently building this rich, detailed profile of a customer in HubSpot, capturing their preferences, past interactions, every little nuance, but then the field service team operating in isolation with a system like Dusk FSM doesn't have access to any of that vital history, it just creates this really jarring experience for the customer. They're constantly having to repeat themselves. It's like starting from scratch with every interaction instead of having that smooth, unified view of who they are and what they need.
You're absolutely right. Businesses simply can't afford to have their customer-facing teams and their field operations acting like they're on separate planets.
Mm.
HubSpot is fantastic at managing those initial engagements, nurturing leads, driving that sales cycle. It's the central hub for all that critical customer interaction data.
Yeah, it's like the engine for building those early relationships, really understanding what makes the customer tick.
Precisely. But where HubSpot typically shines less is in the very specific operational capabilities that are crucial for effective field service management. Things like efficiently scheduling and dispatching technicians to different job sites, actively managing their tasks and workflows while they're out in the field. HubSpot isn't really built for that.
And that's where a dedicated FSM platform like Dusk FSM comes in. It's designed from the ground up to handle the unique complexities of field operations. But like you said earlier, without that essential customer context flowing directly from the CRM, it's operating with this major blind spot. It might be incredibly efficient at optimizing a technician's route, but then that technician could be showing up at a job completely unprepared for the customer's specific needs or their past history with the company.
Precisely. Dusk FSM might excel at optimizing schedules and managing technician availability, but without access to the customer's complete history. Their service records those specific notes and preferences. Maybe the sales team painstakingly documented in HubSpot is missing that critical piece of the puzzle that you need to deliver truly personalized and timely service, that robust integration between the two. That's the linchpin for creating that seamless customer-centric experience that we're talking about.
So let's dig into what happens when these two vital systems remain siloed. We've touched on inefficiencies and delays, but what are the real tangible consequences of these disconnected processes for a business and, more importantly, for its customers?
Well, the most immediate impact is often this fragmentation of data, which leads to a real lack of visibility. When your CRM and FSM are operating independently, all that crucial customer information gets locked away in these separate silos. Your sales team might have this incredibly detailed understanding of the customer, their purchase history, what products they own, any recurring issues they face. But the field technicians, the people actually delivering that on-the-ground service, often lack access to that critical information.
So it's like the technician showing up to fix your internet might be completely clueless that you've reported the same problem 5 times in the past month, or what type of router you even have.
Exactly, and that lack of context inevitably leads to a less than ideal service interaction because the technician isn't properly equipped. They might end up asking you to repeat information you've already provided, or they might not have the right tools or replacement parts because they just don't have the full picture.
From a customer standpoint, that just sounds incredibly frustrating.
Oh, it absolutely is. And then you layer on top of that the whole challenge of manual scheduling and all the administrative errors that inevitably come with it without a direct integration service request, often need to be manually transferred from the CRM system into the FSM platform. Someone has to literally re-enter all the details, try to figure out the best scheduling, and then assign the right technician. It's like trying to run a marathon while juggling chainsaws.
Yeah, it sounds incredibly time-consuming and ripe for mistakes.
You nailed it. It's prone to all sorts of human error, incorrect information getting entered, scheduling conflicts popping up, even appointments being completely missed. And on top of all of that, it puts this huge administrative burden on your support teams who end up spending their time essentially acting as the go-between for these two disconnected systems.
And, we live in a world where people expect instant updates. What happens on the communication front when these systems aren't talking to each other?
Communication breaks down. It becomes disjointed. Customers now expect real-time updates about their service when the technician is expected to arrive if there are any delays and when the job's been completed. But when the CRM and FSM are operating in these isolated bubbles, providing those timely, accurate updates becomes almost impossible. The support team working in the CRM might not have any idea what's actually happening out in the field, which is being managed separately by the FSM. And so delays in communication, those critical updates just don't make it to the customer, leaving them feeling uninformed and likely pretty frustrated.
So the customer's left in limbo feeling like they're out of the loop and not really a priority.
Precisely. And that lack of proactive communication, that lack of transparency erodes trust. It breeds frustration. And then on top of all of this, we have to consider the sheer inefficiency of it all. Think about all the wasted time and resources, all those repetitive manual tasks, re-entering the same information into multiple systems, constantly switching between platforms to check on job statuses, update details. It's a productivity killer.
It sounds like a major drain.
Yeah, it is. It directly leads to higher operational costs because your valuable team members are spending their time on administrative busy work instead of focusing on delivering real tangible value to the customer. And ultimately, all of these interconnected issues, the lack of data visibility, the scheduling errors, the communication breakdowns, the inefficiency, it all adds up to create dissatisfied customers, and it can really damage your brand's reputation.
Because at the end of the day, what matters most to the customer is getting their issue resolved quickly, efficiently, with clear, consistent communication.
Exactly. And when those disconnected systems lead to delayed service miscommunication and a technician who shows up unprepared, it creates a negative experience that can drive down customer satisfaction, hurt your retention rates, and even cost you revenue in the long run.
Earlier, you mentioned the specific scenario involving a solar panel repair. Could you maybe walk us through that in a little more detail just to really illustrate this challenge for our listeners?
Absolutely. So picture this. A customer reaches out to their solar panel company. They've got a problem they need to repair. The support team diligently logs all the details that customer provides into their HubSpot CRM. And this is the crucial part. This information isn't automatically shared or synced with the company's separate FSM system that they use to manage their technicians. So what happens? The support agent has to manually re-enter all the customer's information, the specifics of the issue, into that FSM platform, which introduces the potential for errors, typos, or just delays in getting the repair scheduled. Then due to a scheduling oversight in that disconnected FSM system, the technician gets dispatched to the customer's home later than initially promised. And to make matters worse, the technician arrives without access to the detailed notes that the customer originally provided to the support team in HubSpot about the exact nature of the problem or the specific model of their solar panel system. So what happens? The technician shows up unprepared. They might not have the right specialized tools or the correct replacement parts, and they're unable to complete the repair on that first visit, and the customer is less frustrated not only by the delay, but also by the feeling that the company is disorganized and doesn't really value their time or their business.
Ouch. Yeah, that really brings it home how disconnected systems can have such a direct negative impact on the customer experience. So let's flip the script here. How does integrating a platform like Dusk FSM with HubSpot actually turn this whole situation around? What are the core transformations that happen when these two systems start talking to each other?
The integration essentially acts like this central nervous system connecting all those previously disparate parts of the business. It eliminates the major pain points of those disconnected processes. It streamlines everything across the board. And the result is dramatically improved communication and much faster, more accurate service.
So let's break down some of those key benefits. You mentioned seamless context synchronization as a foundational element. How does that actually work?
That's the cornerstone. The integration ensures that all your critical contact data that's sitting in HubSpot, including those custom properties that capture all those specific customer details and any important notes from your sales or support teams, that's all automatically and continuously synced in real time with Dusk FSM. So your field technicians have immediate access to the most up-to-date customer information right at their fingertips. No more wasting time digging through multiple systems or relying on potentially outdated data. It's like those information silos just crumble.
So it sounds like this would make a huge difference for the technician arriving at a job. They'd actually know who they're dealing with and have a full understanding of the account history. What about the service request itself? How does the integration streamline that whole process?
This is where automated job creation comes in. You can set up specific triggers within HubSpot that will automatically create a corresponding service job in Dusk FSM, for instance. You could configure it so that when a customer support ticket in HubSpot reaches a certain stage, like in progress, or when a sales deal for an installation is marked as close won, a service job is instantly and automatically created in Dusk FSM. No manual data entry, no chance for errors, no unnecessary delays. It just happens seamlessly. And to take it a step further, Dusk FSM often offers these HubSpot CRM app cards. They're like mini dashboards of your FSM data that live right inside your HubSpot contact records. So your dispatchers and other team members don't have to constantly toggle between systems to get the key information they need about scheduled jobs or service history.
So it's not just about pushing the customer data into the FSM system, but it's also about pulling key FSM functionality and data back into HubSpot. So everything's accessible in one place. Sounds way more efficient for everyone involved. So once a service job is actually in the system, how does Dusk FSM make sure the right technician gets to the right place at the right time?
That's where their AI-driven workforce optimization comes in. It's pretty impressive. Their algorithms look at a bunch of factors in real time, like the specific skills and certifications needed for the job, the availability of your technicians, their location relative to the customer, and then it automatically matches the best technician to each service request. This isn't just about proximity, it's about ensuring the technician has the right expertise to get the job done right the first time.
Which we've already established translates to happier customers and fewer headaches for everyone down the line. So it's a win-win.
Exactly. And it also optimizes your resources. You're not sending technicians on these wild goose chases across town. You're minimizing travel time and maximizing the efficiency of your entire field service team. Everybody wins.
So you've got the right technician on their way to the job. How do you keep everyone in the loop about the progress once they're dispatched?
That's where those real-time job status updates become crucial as the technician moves through the appointment. Any changes in status, even those completed field service reports, are instantly visible within HubSpot. So everyone who needs to be in the know, the sales team support, reps the field operations team, they all have a real-time view of what's happening with the service delivery.
That transparency is key, and that real-time visibility in HubSpot also powers those automated customer notifications, right? So the customer gets updates about their appointment time, any unexpected delays, even an estimated time of arrival for the technician. It's all about keeping them informed every step of the way, which builds trust and just generally creates a better experience.
Exactly. Those proactive communication pieces are essential. They alleviate so much anxiety and uncertainty for the customer. They know what to expect, and they
Yeah.
feel like they're in the loop. So what about after the service is done? How does the integration continue to deliver value?
Right, so the job's finished what then?
Well, Dusk FSM often includes features that allow technicians to track their time really granularly, whether it's time spent on administrative tasks related to the service request, their travel time to and from the customer's location, or the actual hands-on tool time working on the issue. And sometimes you can even do this directly from those HubSpot CRM app cards. So you end up with this comprehensive and accurate record of how much time was invested in each service interaction.
And that's got to be valuable not just for accurate billing, but for really understanding the true cost of providing different types of services.
Absolutely. It eliminates those discrepancies that you often get with manual time tracking. And it gives you this treasure trove of data that you can use for in-depth performance analysis, optimizing your resources, and even making those big picture strategic decisions for the business. And we can't forget about the role of mobile field service management software in all of these solutions, like Dusk FSM offer these really intuitive mobile apps that empower technicians to manage their jobs, access all that integrated customer data, get real-time updates and schedule changes, and just work more efficiently all from their mobile devices, even when they're out in the field.
So it's like giving your technicians the superpower to stay connected, informed, and productive no matter where they are.
Exactly. So if a business is seriously thinking about implementing this kind of CRM FSM integration, what are some best practices they should keep in mind to ensure a successful rollout?
Yeah, what are some key things to keep in mind?
Well, first and foremost, you've got to ensure data consistency across both platforms. That means setting up regular, ideally completely automated synchronization between your CRM and your FSM systems. You want to make absolutely sure that customer data is always accurate and up to date in both environments. No more data silos, remember. And like you said earlier, a well-integrated mobile FSM solution is crucial here because it gives those field teams access to that real-time consistent data wherever they are.
That makes a lot of sense. What else should they be focusing on?
They should absolutely be taking advantage of those powerful workflow automation features that are usually built into their CRM system. Set up those workflows to automatically trigger actions in your FSM platform, like job creation and dispatch, based on specific events or changes within the CRM. It's all about reducing those manual errors and speeding up the service delivery. And again, having that mobile FSM component ensures that technicians get those automated job assignments and updates instantly on their devices so they can manage their tasks super efficiently. For instance, you can set up a workflow in HubSpot that says, okay, when a service ticket is tagged as urgent, it's automatically flagged in Dusk FSM with a high priority, and the dispatch team gets notified immediately. It's all about streamlining and speeding things up.
It seems like automation is really the key here. What
Yeah.
would be the third essential best practice for a successful integration?
The third one is to prioritize real-time visibility and communication. Make sure everyone who needs to be informed, your sales team, your support agents, your field technicians, everyone has complete and immediate visibility into the progress of every single service job. And equally important, set up those automated customer notifications that keep your clients informed every step of the way. A strong mobile FSM solution is a game changer here because it allows technicians in the field to provide those real-time status updates, which keeps the back office in the loop and enables that really transparent communication with your customers.
So it's not just about connecting the tech, it's about optimizing those business processes and communication flows that run through them. So let's talk about making this happen. What are the key steps involved in actually implementing a CRM and FSM integration?
Successful implementation really boils down to a few key areas. First and foremost, aligning your internal teams and defining those desired workflows crystal clear. This isn't just a tech project, it's a major process change that requires buy-in and collaboration from different departments. You need to explicitly define what specific actions or changes in your CRM should trigger corresponding tasks or workflows in your FSM platform. So for example, when a sales deal in HubSpot hits that close one stage boom, it should automatically kick off the scheduling process for the installation in your Dusk FSM system. So carefully mapping out that entire customer journey and those crucial handoff points between teams, that's essential for a smooth integration. Absolutely. And setting up predefined job types within your CRM, categorizing service requests as installation, repair, or maintenance, for example, can really simplify scheduling. And dispatch it ensures that everyone involved knows exactly what type of service is needed. And holding regular cross-team meetings throughout the implementation is super valuable for fine-tuning those workflows, assigning responsibilities, and ensuring that handoff between departments is seamless. The benefit is fewer errors and a much more proactive and efficient approach to customer service.
Collaboration and clear roles are key. What would be the next critical step in a successful implementation?
Choosing the right FSM solution is absolutely paramount. You need to select a platform like Dusk FSM, for example, that's been designed from the ground up to integrate smoothly with your existing CRM system. Look for things like certified native integrations, robust automatic data sync, streamlined automated job creation, AI-powered scheduling, and those real-time updates and reporting features. Picking an FSM solution that's built for tight integration with your CRM is going to boost efficiency and ultimately lead to happier customers. And don't forget, make sure that FSM platform is a strong and user-friendly mobile component to keep those technicians connected and give them access to the latest customer and job data when they're out in the field.
So it's not just finding any FSM system, it's about finding the one that's specifically designed to play nice with your CRM. What about the people who will be using these integrated systems day in and day out? How do you ensure user adoption across the board?
Getting people on board and comfortable with the new system that's crucial for realizing the full benefits of the integration. And it starts with choosing an FSM platform that's intuitive and user-friendly one that offers features like those HubSpot app cards we talk about to simplify things and make the learning curve less steep. It's also critical to communicate the tangible benefits of the integration to your employees, how it will reduce those manual tasks, minimize errors, and improve transparency and efficiency in their daily work, and then follow that up with targeted training sessions that cover the automated workflows, the scheduling tools, and how to use those CRM app cards. Effectively, the goal is to make the transition as smooth as possible for everyone involved. When your teams adopt the new system quickly and effectively, you see those operational benefits faster, and you tend to have happier, more satisfied employees.
It makes perfect sense to make that transition as painless as possible for the people who are actually using the system. So last but not least, let's talk about data security and compliance, which is obviously a huge concern when you're integrating systems that handle sensitive customer information.
Absolutely. Data security and compliance should always be top of mind when you're dealing with customer data across any integrated systems. Prioritize choosing an FSM solution like Dusk FSM that aligns with your CRM's data security protocols and meets all the relevant industry and government regulations like GDPR or HIPAA, depending on your specific business. And the data you handle, setting up those role-based access controls is essential, so only the right people have access to sensitive information. And don't underestimate the importance of regular security awareness training for your teams to keep them up to date on best practices for data privacy and protection. Having that strong focus on data security and compliance builds trust with your customers, minimizes the risk of those really damaging data breaches, and keeps your business on the right side of the law.
So it's a comprehensive approach that considers the technology, the people using it, and those essential business processes. So let's solidify our understanding here. Could you walk us through a concrete, real-world example of how a successful CRM FSM integration might actually play out in a typical scenario?
Sure, let's go back to our solar panel installation company. Imagine a potential customer goes through the sales process in HubSpot. They sign on the dotted line, the deal is done, their status in HubSpot gets updated to closed won, and that simple action automatically triggers the creation of a new installation job over in the Dusk FSM platform. At the same time, all the relevant customer data, their contact information, the details of the solar panel system, they've purchased notes from the site survey, all of that is seamlessly synchronized between the two systems. Dusk FSM's AI scheduling engine then kicks in, analyzes the availability, skills, and location of all the company's technicians, and automatically recommends the best person for the job. The technician gets all the job details sent straight to their mobile device through the Dusk FSM app, and throughout the installation, they can use the app to provide real-time updates on the job's progress. Those updates are automatically reflected back in HubSpot, so the support and sales teams can see exactly what's happening. The customer is also kept in the loop with automated notifications about the scheduled installation date and time, and even an estimated arrival time for the technician on the day of service. Once the installation is finished, the technician can wrap up the job directly in the app, adding notes, photos, completion reports, and all of that is automatically available in the customer's record in HubSpot. The system also accurately tracks the technician's time, ensuring precise and timely invoicing. And because the technician is using that mobile FSM app, they have all the information they need right there in their hand, leading to a more efficient, professional, and higher quality service experience for the customer.
Wow, that really lays out how seamless and efficient the whole process can be when those two systems are working together beautifully. So as we start to wrap things up here, what's the key message, the main takeaway you want our listeners to walk away with from this deep dive into the world of CRM and FSM integration?
The bottom line is this. In today's world where customers have such high expectations and competition is fierce, strategically integrating your CRM with your FSM, particularly when you consider the capabilities of platforms like HubSpot and Dusk FSM. It's not just a nice to have anymore, it's a must have. It's about creating a truly connected business operation that can consistently deliver those exceptional customer experiences, streamline those internal operations, and ultimately drive real sustainable growth.
So it's about moving beyond just managing individual transactions and really focusing on building those long-lasting relationships with your customers by giving them faster, more efficient, more personalized service experiences at every single touch point.
It's about breaking down those information silos and embracing the power of this kind of intelligent integration. Businesses can take those traditional service challenges and turn them into opportunities to not only meet, but exceed customer expectations, build loyalty, and gain a serious competitive edge.
So if you're listening to this today, take a moment to really evaluate your own organization's CRM and FSM setup. Think about the potential of turning those service headaches into opportunities for growth and enhanced customer satisfaction by adopting a smarter, more efficient, more connected approach to service delivery through seamless integration. And as we've discussed, exploring the benefits of mobile field service software and those dedicated field service app solutions like Dusk FSM could be a real game changer for your business. It's not just about fixing things when they break anymore. It's about proactively creating those truly exceptional customer experiences that set you apart from the pack.